want to tell you that I regret not supporting you, and I pledge to support you. And that just, like, it was a big deal, you know?
I think you moved 7 times around the world by the time you were 14. Name all the places you lived when you were growing up.
I grew up in 5 different countries. I was born in England, moved to Brazil when I was 6 months old, spoke my first words in Portuguese, moved to Venezuela when I was, I think, 2, and I spoke fluent Spanish in nursery school. I moved to Connecticut when I was 4, and then when I was 6 years old, moved to Miami, and then when I was 9 years old, moved to England. When I was 12 years old, moved to Canada. When I was 13, I moved back to England, and I stayed in England through all 4 years of high school. Until I graduated high school when I was 18.
The pros and cons of moving around like that would be what?
Every time I found out we were going to move, I was like psyched about it. Because I was like, oh, well, this next time I'm going to be cool. You know? Like, it was always like a chance for me to start over because I was really quick to rub people the wrong way, like all through my childhood. And like I wanted like attention and I wanted approval and praise, but like I went all the wrong ways about trying to get that.
How well, if all, do you remember the report card from your 6th grade homeroom teacher?
It was the 6th grade report card, and my homeroom teacher, Alice Iaquesa, wrote, Steve like desperately craves the approval, you know, the attention, approval, you know, praise, whatever, you know, of his peers. But everything he does, you know, in seeking that brings about the opposite result. And that couldn't be more accurate. And the fact of how true that is was you know, it pierced me.
So your dad, how much did he work when you were growing up?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I think if anything was damaging, and this isn't like an attack or a judgment on my dad, but I think that the lack of consistency with the parenting, you know, when Dad was around, there was like, Dad would try to like compensate for all the time he wasn't there by being extra like stern and, you know, disciplinarian when he was there. And so all that like really created was just like inconsistency, you know, like, oh, like what is it, you know? And same thing with Mom's drinking and stuff. So I either had like a super strict like dad that I was kind of scared of, or like I had just like, it was like Pippi Longstocking, you know?
So it was a lunch that you had with him at Ruby Tuesdays before the 2 of you drove to Jackson Memorial to see your mom after her aneurysm. What about that lunch was so impactful?
Yeah, when Mom's aneurysm happened and, you know, we all congregated in Florida, we took a break from the hospital to go get this meal. At that point, I had been through clown college, which Dad just didn't understand, he didn't approve of, he just didn't support. And Mom came to my clown college graduation, but Dad did not, which is no big deal, you know. But Dad was like not on board with what I was trying to do with the video camera and the I'm gonna be a stuntman business. And I love this so much. This is so like special to me, and I'm so grateful for it because Dad initiated this conversation at that time, and he said, hey, I want to tell you something. I really feel I've done a disservice to you by not supporting you in this career that you've clearly committed yourself to. And it's not what I would choose for you, but I didn't choose what my dad would have chosen for me. And he said, just like my dad told me, he said that, you know, I want to tell you that, you know, I regret not supporting you, and I pledge to support you. And that just, like, it was a big deal, you know? He said, you're not doing what I want.
How did hearing that impact you?
Like, it put wind in my sails, you know? And I remember, like, there was this show on TV called Real TV, where it was kind of like, you know, it was home videos. And on the commercial, they said, if you have any video footage that you think that, you know, we might want to see, like, call this number. And I called up the number, and I was like, I don't have footage that you might want. I have footage that you desperately need, you know? And so I sent them the video, and they called me back, and they said, yeah, we really like the one where you're on the roof of the 3-story building and you set yourself on fire and do the simultaneous fire-breathing front flip off of the roof. And we'll pay you $500 for exclusive rights to it. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? And they said, well, that means that we own it and that you can't, you know, do anything with it. I'm like, wait, like, I can't do it. I'm thinking that sounds awful.
Right.
And so I kind of went into a panic because I wanted to be on real TV. You know, like, I want to be on real TV, but I don't want, you know. And so I called Dad, you know, and I couldn't have done that before. Now Dad's on my team. He's in my corner.
Yeah.
And I called Dad. I said, Dad, you know, 500 exclusives. And Dad says, calm down, you know, mellow out, calm down. He said, this is so simple. He said, you need to decide what's a deal breaker and stick to it. He says, what I hear you saying, it sounds like the exclusivity is a deal breaker. So why don't you draw that line, stick to it, tell them that you're not going to give them exclusivity, and ask for 1,000. So I called back and I said, non-exclusive, and I need 1,000. And they said, cool. And so, like, from that first, you know, that was like the first, like, business thing. And Dad and I did it together. He's been in the loop on everything. I mean, increasingly less so. But he still has a major presence in all of my affairs. You know, and I love that.